A one-point game at the half. A big-time run for the Warriors to take the lead in the fourth quarter, but some big shots by Patrick Beverley and Nicholas Batum that we'll check out in just a second gave the Clippers a win on the back-to-back. These two teams will match up again on Friday. But the Warriors, the team defense was there. The shots just didn't go down, and Steph Curry will have an update on his ankle in just a second. But apparently he tweaked it, trying to split a double team and rolled his ankle on Pat Bev's foot. We'll talk more about that later in the show. But look, a good test for the Golden State Warriors. They were right there against the championship team. Mully just didn't have enough to get over the hump. And defensively, the 13-4 run by the Clippers really did the Warriors in. Yeah, the Clippers, they showed why they're a championship contender. They play both sides of the ball. Defensively, they're really tough, Darrell. They can switch across the board with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Nicholas Batum, an underrated acquisition by the Clippers. So you got some length there, all very good individual defenders. They're tied together. They're a veteran team. And when it got down to late in the fourth quarter, Kawhi Leonard showed why he's a two-time NBA Finals MVP, made all the plays, both scoring and assisting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of positives for the Warriors after this game, playing and competing at a high level with the Clippers. Like you said, a championship team. I just think you just got to make a few more shots down the stretch, and those guys have a deep, deep team, a deep bench, and, you know, the vets came in and made some clutch shots down at the end, like Batum and Patrick Beverley. Yeah, Steph Curry came back down to earth tonight, Mullen, but that was due to the Clippers, right?
No doubt. They've got a defense that's tied together as a team, the Clippers do. And probably most importantly, they got big-time individual defenders. Yes. So Patrick Beverley can push up and pressure Steph. They can double team, and then they can also pass them off to Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. No doubt. Steph Curry with only 13 points tonight, one made three after scoring 92 in 7 quarters. Let's look at the early fourth quarter here where the Warriors went on a run here, a 12-0 run, a 23-5 run in all to take an 87-83 lead. They really had things cooking there early. Pascal, Wiggins, and really Wiggins took over the game there early in the fourth quarter. This was the spurt they needed, and they rewarded themselves. I thought they played good defense all night. They found a little spurt here and made it. A big-time game. It came down to being a 5-minute game, Darrell.
Yeah, it definitely did, and I think that bench did a great job bringing energy. Pascal going out there getting, 19 tonight and just holding it down to Steph, you know, got comfortable, tried to get comfortable with all those different schemes they threw at him. But I think it was a great game all the way around. Probably just got to tune up a few things and get ready for the next one.
Yeah, the encouraging part for the Warriors is I thought their defense was solid throughout. And look, this is a big-time defensive team, so they didn't really find their rhythm enough to get the win. But I think a few tweaks. But, you know, I think Steve Kerr will be happy with the effort defensively. Now, you know, just tweak the offense a little bit and just find a little more firepower. Like you said, Darrell, again, Bonta, you said 6th man of the year.
Right.
Eric Pascal, big time off the bench.
No doubt.
6th man of the year. We're going to pump that up here on Warriors PostGame Live, presented by Toyota. Let's take a look at the crunch time numbers here. The crunch time. In 5:15 left, Curry came back into the game. Tie ball game at Kawhi Leonard when it was 93-all. Draymond Green with the flagrant foul. Kawhi didn't like the way he went down. A very dangerous play. And in today's NBA, you know they're going to call a flagrant. Kawhi gets a flagrant 1, 2 free throws and the ball. He hits 4 straight free throws there, and the Clippers took control, Millie. Yeah, the Clippers went to the two-man game with their two best players, their superstars, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. One time, the Warriors messed up a switch, and then Kawhi got to the basket. Again, once again here, Kawhi, the ball in his hands, you come double, finds the open man, Nicholas Batum. It's a big hit, back-to-back three-point shots. Patrick Beverley hit a 3. But here you see again, Darrell, the ball's in Kawhi Leonard's hands. He's making plays.
Yeah, Kawhi's a closer, man, and everybody on that Clipper team knows that. You know, we've seen it with him in the finals with the Raptors. So, you know, when it's time to get a bucket and be a playmaker, they give the ball to Kawhi. But I think it was a big turning point with the flagrant foul, him being able to get those 2 free throws, then Batum and Beverley knocking down those open threes. That was the ball game right there. 13-4 run, Mully, and Batum, as you mentioned, hitting big threes. A veteran, another veteran presence coming in from Charlotte. We thought the guy was asleep, thought he was done.
Nice role for the Clippers, man. He hit some big shots.
Big-time acquisition for Batum, and I think this is a perfect role for him. I think in Charlotte, he had that big contract no matter what. What he did, it wasn't enough.
Right.
But here, I think he's whatever he does, he's actually exceeding his expectations.
No doubt about it. Let's take a look at Steph Curry's ankle here with the report, a tweak of an ankle. We always get worried when Steph Curry rolls an ankle there. There you see it right there. Trying to get through there, a double team, and lands on Pat Bev's foot. He limps off the floor. Hopefully it is not serious. Didn't look like he was grimacing too hard on the sideline there, but whenever we see Curry in the ankle, you always get cause for concern, Darrell.
Yeah, definitely. It's part of the game, rolling ankles and stepping on guys' feet. Hopefully, it's not too bad. You just get back there, get some ice on that thing quick as possible, get some treatment. I'm pretty sure he'll bounce back pretty fast.
It just shows you the respect and how dangerous he is and where he sits in the scouting report.
Yeah.
The game is pretty much over, and they're still double teaming him because they know they got to play a game. One day off, they got to play him again. They don't want him getting any rhythm.
No rhythm.
So that's the #1 goal of that defense, is to shut Steph Curry down.
All right, let's go back to Chase Center here from Fitz and Buki on that matchup Friday night. It'll be game 2 of this 2-game set between the Warriors and the Clippers.
Well, when you play a team twice in 3 days, it's all adjustments and game plan. I don't think the Clipper game plan is going to be any different. A million guys guard Steph Curry, and what does he do with the ball? Now, he gave up the ball, but I think the Warriors got something out of James Wiseman, but they can get more. On all the lobs, all the pick and roll, I think he can be even more of a weapon than his 10 points.
I would definitely love to see more pick and roll with James Wiseman. Just pick and roll in general with the Warriors. They usually get something good out of it. But early in the game, the shot selection wasn't great. And I thought at the end of the game, the execution wasn't great. The shot selection wasn't great. Guys weren't on the same page at times. On the offensive side, there were some turnovers. 13 turnovers is great. But if you look a little deeper, there was 9 in the second half, and there was some late ones there. So offensively, the Warriors can be a little better. Again, the three-point shot's going to be up and down. You can't really rely on that if you're the Warriors. But just execution, getting better looks, knowing when to show and go, get all the way to the basket, and defensively. This is a great offensive team in the Clippers right now. And they executed and showed their experience.
You think about 23 made threes against Sacramento, then 8 of 30 against the Clippers. To beat an elite team, you're going to have to make some of those open threes, but how those threes are created and who takes them becomes important.
It's funny and frustrating, too, because the Warriors really had a good defensive night.
They really did.
For a lot of this night. How many times were we saying, wow, great on-ball defense there. Wow, you did a great job guarding Kawhi Leonard. They got to that three-point line. They ran him off the three-point line. Great contest. In the last 5 minutes, there were some plays where, okay, a little overhelp here. You come double, maybe at the wrong time. Kawhi sees you coming, throws right to the three-point line. So just being a little more solid on the defensive side like you were the whole game. Again, you may still lose, but just a little better on the defensive side the last 5 minutes. You got to be better on both sides of the floor there.
This stretch of the schedule, do the Warriors belong? Are they a legitimate playoff team? The Clippers are really good. They're a title contender. They didn't outclass the Warriors. They executed down the stretch, but the Warriors were in the game. We'll see if they can do the same thing on Friday with maybe a different outcome.
All right, here on the other side, we'll hear from Steve Kerr on the Warriors having their 2-game winning streak snapped. They'll play the Clippers again Friday night. We'll hear from Steve Kerr coming up next here on Warriors Postgame Live, presented by Toyota.
Warriors Postgame Live is presented by Toyota. Wouldn't it be nice to drive the most trusted brand in California? Take a test drive at your local dealer today.